What's up, this is Stephen Bloodworth, and this is my August 2020 Blu-ray update. Now, real quick before we get into the update, I just want to apologize for there being only one video last week. Essentially, last Sunday, me and my family had to put one of our dogs down, and it was just, when something like that happens, it just takes a toll on me to the point where I really don't have any energy nor enthusiasm to do anything. I did have that one video for Wednesday where I unboxed what Ryan, Blu-ray Lantern, sent to me, but other than that, I tried, but the energy just wasn't with me. So for that, I apologize, and I'll try my best to film some short videos in the meantime to kind of have as backups for if I'm not going to be filming for some reason. Now, this Blu-ray and DVD update will probably be the last until maybe November, just because come October, I don't really intend on buying a lot of stuff. There's really not a lot that I have my eye out for. The Dawn of the Dead 4K and the Friday the 13th set I already have pre-ordered, but those I'll probably just do an unboxing video of, and October, 31 Days of Horror, of course. And to be honest, for this update, I got a decent amount of stuff, but I really haven't been watching a lot of this stuff due to power outages, due to obviously what has happened recently, and 31 Days of Horror. I've been spending most of my time working on 31 Days of Horror, watching the films, and writing down the scripts, as well as getting everything that I need to build the set. I did watch a couple things, and this will be another part 1 and part 2 Blu-ray update, and part 3 of the DVD update will be up on Friday. First two up are two 4Ks that I got. This one I saw at Best Buy, and it is a Best Buy exclusive, and I only saw this film for the first time maybe 4 years ago, 3 to 4 years ago. Originally I watched it for a paper I was writing in college, and originally I was going to write it on Straight Outta Compton, but the professor encouraged me to dive a little deeper, and he suggested this film. I haven't seen it, and it blew me away, and it's now one of the best films that I've ever seen, and of course that is Boys in the Hood. And I hear a lot of people saying that they don't like this design of the Best Buy exclusive 4K, but I think it looks pretty nice. I know that the Blu-ray of this did come out maybe a few years ago, but I'm just really looking forward to seeing this in 4K. I watch this film every now and then, but it's one of my favorites, and if you like urban gangster culture and LA dystopia, and of course Ice Cube and Lawrence Fishburne, then this is a must-see. And the last of the 4Ks, this one is a Blue Underground release, and a lot of people have been telling me ever since they saw me get Zombie and House by the Cemetery, they've been saying, you gotta check this one out, you would absolutely love it, and I did watch it, and they're right. It's a contender for my favorite Fulci film of all time. I love this one, and that of course is The New York Ripper. Again, it was my first time watching it, and I was blown away with just about everything I saw. I have no way of comparing this from VHS, DVD, Blu-ray. Of course, I watched this in 4K. If anybody can tell me a difference in picture quality, of course it looks great, but I have no way of comparing it. But for a first-time watch for me, I really dug this film, and again, contender for my favorite Fulci film of all time. Now we're gonna get into the Blu-rays, and I only got a handful of Arrow titles this time. This one I've had my eyes on for a long time. The artwork is just fantastic, and I know that one of the actors from the film has actually passed away recently, but it's Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's been a while since I've seen this one, but it's definitely one of those ones where if I want to just have some fun, I'll put it on. but this is one of the most wackiest 80s movies I've ever seen, and probably one of the wackiest 80s films that many of you guys have seen. And I also love the fact that Trick or Treat Studios made a cotton candy cocoon that they have for sale on their website. The last Arrow title I got, this was a first time watch for me. I've heard about this film for years, never got around to watching it until recently, and this one is House, and I really do want to check out the sequel to it, but I thought this was going to be more of a serious horror film about this haunted house. Surprisingly blown away. I actually really loved it. I really want to see the sequel. I know a lot of people say the sequel is hit or miss for them, but in the beginning I had this idea where the film is just going to be about this house haunted by this woman, but there was just so much things going on in it, and the guy from Vietnam, the skeleton guy at the end, the special effects on that are groundbreaking for the time. And of course the transfer that Arrow did is beautiful, and for anybody that has not seen it, I say get off your ass and go check it out. So this update, I got a lot of Scream Factory titles to show off. The first one's a Shout Factory title. This one I thought so much more of when I read about this online. I thought this was going to be more of a body horror film, if anything, but it's disturbing, it's disgusting, but ultimately more depressing than shocking. And this one is called Swallow, about a woman who literally has the perfect life, living with a perfect husband in a perfect house, but she develops this weird mental disorder where she feels the need to swallow inanimate objects like pins, marbles, paper clips, and it comes to a point where she needs an aide in the house to watch over her to make sure she's not swallowing anything. She hides stuff all over the house so she can swallow it. It's bizarre, it's depressing. It was alright. It was shot really nicely, I must say that. But if anybody thinks that it's a horror film, if you go into it with the mentality that it's a horror film, it's not. But it's very powerful, it is very depressing, and for anybody that likes films like this, I'd say give it a shot. Now we're going to move on to Scream Factory. This one I found for a really good deal, and it is out of print, very expensive now. And this one is Dolls, and it actually has the slipcover to it. Have not seen this one yet. I do intend on checking it out probably this week. Hopefully this week. Need to check it out this week. But I hear non-stop people saying that this is an excellent killer doll film. Next up, I've been meaning to get this one on Blu Ray for the longest time, and didn't know until recently that Scream Factory did a Blu Ray of it, and it's Trick or Treat. This one is probably one of the best anthologies that I've seen in a very long time. And I love the fact that Thurman Merman from Bad Santa is in this. It's definitely one of my favorite films to watch around Halloween, and probably some of your guys' favorite film to watch around Halloween. The next one, I know this edition and the single edition that Scream Factory had is now or going to be out of print, but I decided to get the double feature one, and I really wish Scream Factory would do more of these double feature packs, but this one is Carrie and Rage Carrie 2. Honestly, I love the first Carrie. I don't remember a lot about the Rage, but obviously the first one, Sissy Spacek, I love it, and surprisingly, I don't mind the remake. I thought the remake was actually pretty watchable, but there's really not much more that I could say about the original, at least. It's a masterpiece. If you haven't seen it, go check it out now. This one I got right when it went out of print, and a lot of people get this one confused with the TV film. The TV film is obviously long out of print from Wild Eye, and I think the last copy I saw of it went for like $500. But this was the one with Klaus Kinski. I have not seen this one. I was meaning to see this for so many years, but just never got around to it, and when I saw it was out of print, I'm like, you know what, I better get it now. And that one is Crawl Space. This is the 80s Crawl Space. The other one with Arthur Kennedy is the TV movie 70s Crawl Space. But if any of you have seen this version of Crawl Space, the one with Klaus Kinski, please let me know your thoughts of it down below. This next one, I believe it is going out of print. I am not 100% sure of that, but I really wish they would do a 4K eventually of it, but it's Day of the Dead, the original Day of the Dead, and when it comes down to it, I like this one probably just as much as Dawn of the Dead. I rewatched this one. This is probably the least watched Romero zombie film that I have seen, but I think it's better that way because I have great respect for this film. Everything from the characters, the atmosphere of being underground, and the gore is just spectacular. This next one is definitely one of my favorite Christmas horror films, and I do own the original Blu-ray. I forgot who put it out, but I do own the original Blu-ray of it. I have the DVD of the remake, and I still eventually need to check out the remake of it, and it's of course Black Christmas. Again, it's one of my favorite Christmas slasher films, and I'm one of those people that find it pretty ironic that the guy who directed this, Bob Clark, is also the guy who directed A Christmas Story. You know, they do a TBS marathon where they show A Christmas Story for 24 hours. Well, somebody should do a 24-hour marathon of Black Christmas. See how that will tie together. These next two were first-time watches for me. This one I've been wanting to see for so many years. Finally got around to it, and this one is Night of the Comet. This one just screams 80s. There's not one scene in this where it does not look like the 80s. But overall, it is a really well-made film. It is very fun, and if anybody likes 80s pop culture, then this is definitely one you'll like. This one I've been meaning to see for years. Finally got around to checking it out. Had no idea what it was about, and I was really surprised by it, and of course it's Wes Craven's Serpent and the Rainbow. I was really blown away to see Juanita from Billy Madison and the sheriff from the Dennis the Menace movie in this one, but wow. This, one of my favorite Wes Craven films now. I can't believe it's taken me this long to see it. If any of you have seen Serpent and the Rainbow, please let me know your thoughts of it down below. I truly love this one. Another Wes Craven film that I need to get around to watching, and I've again heard nothing but great things about it, and that one of course is Shocker. Anybody seen this one out there watching this? Please let me know your thoughts down below. And the last Scream Factory title I got this one. I've been meaning to get it. I'm trying to get all the Reanimator films that I can, and Scream Factory recently announced that this one was going out of print, and I knew that I needed to pick it up, and of course that is From Beyond. Please drop a comment down below telling me your thoughts on it, but I'm really excited to check it out after realizing that Ken Foree is in this. The next two I got are both Vinegar Syndrome titles, and this one I've heard about for years. I think Cinema Snob might have done a review of it, and this one is Mountaintop Motel Massacre. I'm looking forward to checking this out. If anybody has seen it, please drop a comment down below telling me your thoughts. The last Vinegar Syndrome title I got, another one I think Cinema Snob reviewed. Not 100% sure, but I did check this out. This one is hilarious, and it's Death Row Game Show. It's kind of like, I can see maybe James DeMonaco being inspired by this to make The Purge. Just really weird, and I'd be really curious to see how something like this can get pulled off today. I mean, there's probably people on the dark web that do their own thing like this, but this film is absolutely hilarious. Surprisingly, no gore in this. I thought this was going to be like a cheesy gore film, but it's more of a comedy and satire on television. But if anybody just wants a good laugh, then I say Death Row Game Show is the film for you. The next two I got are MVD titles, and this first one I've been waiting for years for there to be an official release, whether it be DVD or Blu-ray, and that one is Mikey, and it's the slipcover's got the awesome VHS rental stickers on it, but this has got to be one of the most messed up films I've ever seen about this psychotic killer kid one of the words can't describe it. It is definitely one of the most shocking and bizarre films from the 90s. And surprisingly, the gore in this is fantastic, but thankfully it's on Blu-ray now, so for anybody that wants to see a really good horror film from the 90s, get off your ass and go check this out now. The last MVD title, and I got this one thinking that it was a film, turned out it's a documentary, and this one is 1275 Days. It's a documentary following a kid who was involved in a burglary, and the guy in the house ended up shooting one of the people getting killed, and in the state that they live in, if you're involved in a crime that involves a homicide, then you're also charged with murder. I watched a little bit of this. It was intriguing, but I can definitely see people probably liking this as a Netflix release, but it was alright for anybody that likes these documentaries, and I'd say give it a shot. This next one is a Scorpion releasing title, and I think this might be the first title that I have that's from Scorpion releasing, but anybody that's been watching for the last few months know I've been on a giant Dario Argento kick, and this is one I've never heard of before, and I'm really looking forward to checking this out, and this is Dario Argento's The Church. If any of you have seen this, please let me know your thoughts down below. This just looks great. The next two are Synapse releases, and I cannot believe it's taken me this long to check this one out. It's a Lamberto Bava film, and I know a lot of you guys have already seen this, so you know all about it. And this one is Demons. I friggin' love this film. Everything about it was just amazing. From the actors, the characters, the cinematography, the gore, everything about this film, holy shit, it's a masterpiece. And I also went ahead and picked up the sequel, Demons 2, and I do own, I don't know if it's an unofficial sequel or a true sequel, but Black Demons. I own that somewhere in my collection, and from what I've heard from some people, it's supposed to be a loose sequel, but when it comes to Demons 2, I heard that this one involves television instead of a theater, so this is another one that I'm really looking forward to checking out. This next one's a Severin title, and I got this recently. It was part of the mid-year sale. This one just took a little longer to produce, and a lot of people have been getting their copies, and they say they really like this one. And this one is Fulci for Fake, and this is the limited edition lenticular cover, or lenticular cover. I know that the standard editions of this are available on Severin's website, and they do have a non-limited edition of Frankie and His Pals on their website, so if you don't want to spend about $100 on eBay, then go to severinfilms.com. They have Frankie and His Pals. But for anybody that's seen Fulci for Fake, please let me know your thoughts of it down below. This next one's another Best Buy exclusive. I saw this when I was in the store the other day. It was only $9.99. I figured, why the hell not? I needed the Blu-ray anyway, and that's Stephen King's It, the original. And I like the remake. I do need to see Chapter 2 eventually. And I actually saw at Best Buy that they have a 4K of Chapters 1 and 2. So I need to pick that up eventually, but I like the remake of it, but when it comes to the original It, I, of course, love the mythos of the film, especially when I was a kid, everyone talking about Pennywise and how disturbing the film was, and don't look down the drain, otherwise this clown will get you. It just holds a nostalgia value to my heart, and I gotta be honest, I have the DVD. Hate that DVD. I have no idea still to this day which side is which part of the film, but hopefully they fix it up with the Blu-ray. But if anybody owns the Steelbook Best Buy exclusive of It, please let me know down below. And the next one is a Target exclusive, and I wanted to pre-order this when it was first announced, just didn't get around to it. And then my girlfriend was actually shopping one day, and she saw a copy of it and grabbed it. She said it was the last one in the store. and I've been seeing people flip these on eBay now, so I'm happy that she was able to get me a copy, and that of course is the Rob Zombie trilogy. Really surprised that they didn't go with the Firefly trilogy, because on the side it will say Rob Zombie. I think originally they wanted to do it as the Firefly trilogy, and I do know that there's a standard edition Blu Ray of it, but overall, I have not gotten into it yet, but overall, this steelbook just looks absolutely incredible, and it is a disc set, which I prefer a lot better than it being crammed all onto one Blu-ray, but I know these are becoming pretty hard to get now, and the standard edition you can probably find it on Amazon, but this one, some Targets might have them left, but if you're lucky enough to come across a copy, definitely go pick it up. The next two are both 20th Century Fox titles. This one took a while to arrive. I got it on Amazon, and I got it at the same time I got the original Hills Have Eyes Part 2 and the sequel to the remake. The remake took a while to ship, but I have the DVD of it. I just figured, why not upconvert to Blu-ray, but this is definitely the Hills Have Eyes remake. This is definitely one of the best remakes that I've ever seen. It's well done, and it is just really, really gritty. And the gore in this, of course, is really disgusting. So, for anybody that may not like horror remakes, definitely give this one a shot. And this one I watched a little bit of. I did enjoy what I saw of it, but I think I might have fallen asleep while watching this, so I need to give this another shot. This one is The Pyramid. If anybody has seen this one, please let me know what you think of it down below. This next one, I have been wanting to see this one for years, and I love anything regarding the Okigahara Forest, the Suicide Forest. This one, I watched it, and in my own opinion, it sucked. It really did. And this one is The Forest, and I was surprised to see Taylor Kinney from Chicago Fire in this, but I like the idea of it, of a girl traveling to Japan to find her sister, who was rumored to be in the Suicide Forest. Just, the idea of this one just is awesome, but it totally flopped, and I don't hear of really anybody talking of this one, but for anybody that has seen this one, let me know if you think otherwise, and if you're considering watching this, I say pass this one. This next one is put out by PCM, and I know that this is a Diabolic DVD exclusive. I had no idea what this film was until I saw Cinema's Underbelly do a review of it, and this just got my mind moving in all sorts of directions. And this one, it's a German film. It's called Melancholy der Engel, and it's a Marian Dora film, and people say that this is a contender for one of the most disturbing films ever made. Jonathan's review really made me want to check this one out, but if anybody has seen Melancholy der Engel, or if you're considering buying it, please let me know your thoughts, and I really can't wait to watch this one. The next one I got's an Unearthed Films title, and this, I believe, is Ryan Nicholson's last film before he died, and I got this one only a few days ago, and still need to check it out, but this one is Live Feed. I hear people saying that they really love this one, especially if you love Ryan Nicholson's work. For anybody that's seen Live Feed, please let me know your thoughts. And these next two, these are pretty difficult to find because you will see them appear on Amazon and then they'll disappear and then they'll come back, kind of like Grotesque. But I have not seen these yet because I want to wait until Massacre Video drops the 4K of Men Behind the Sun. But I did find the sequels to it. Surprisingly, they're on Blu-ray, but this is the sequel to Men Behind the Sun called Laboratory of the Devil. Um, and of course, these are pretty difficult to find. This was distributed by a company called Far East Flea Market or Panorama Corporation Limited. Um, but a lot of people say that they like this one just as much as the original Men Behind the Sun. And they also say that, you know, they fight between which is the better sequel, this or Black Sun the Nanking Massacre. But I'm waiting until Men Behind the Sun comes out from Massacre. But if any of you have seen Laboratory of the Devil, please let me know your thoughts. And they also had the third film available on Blu-ray, and this one is Men Behind the Sun 3 Narrow Escape. I'm waiting until the original hits 4K, so I'm gonna wait a little while before I check these out because I want to see the first film before I get into the sequels. This next one was released by Tokyo Shock, and this is one that I've been waiting to see for years, and I'm really stoked to finally have this on Blu-ray. And this one is Tokyo Gore Police. And I know that from what I heard from several people saying that this is a really fucked up movie, contender for one of the goriest films ever made. If any of you have seen Tokyo Gore Police, please let me know your thoughts down below. And the last two I got are Welgo USA titles, and this one I heard a lot of good things about, still need to check it out, and it's The Wailing. I bought a lot of these Japanese and Korean horror films in the last month, but if any of you have seen this one, please let me know your thoughts. And I heard a lot of people saying that this one really scared them, and I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. And this one is The Mimic. Again, if any of you have seen it, please let me know your thoughts of it. And the last Welgo title, and this one I got mainly because the image that I've seen online is one of the most horrifying things I've ever seen, but this one is Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. It's a found footage film, but if anybody has seen this, please let me know what you think down below. So that's going to do it for part 1 of the Blu-ray update, guys. Thank you so much for coming by and checking out today's video. If you're new to my channel, definitely hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for all my latest videos posted every Monday and Friday. And also make sure to follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, to stay posted on what I'm doing behind the scenes of making these videos. And before you click off this video, don't forget to hit it with a thumbs up, and leave me a comment below saying what films you picked up recently and what films you recommend that I should look out for. Until next time, take care and stay scared.